All right, trial close. Trial close, step number 7. To me, Wenderson, this is the most important step. Because here's where you're going to find out after customer came back from the test drive if number 1, his emotions are high. Number 2, if he's ready to buy. Number 3, if he liked the car. Right? So, we have a sequence of questions that you want to ask to make sure that you get that customer to give you what we call the yes, 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 yes answer, right? So the most yes that you get out of the customer, easier it is for you to help him make that decision for him to buy the car. People usually have those games, right? He have you say yes, 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 and then when he says something that you're supposed to say no, you say yes again. Or I look at TikTok and this stuff, there's people looking on Instagram and Facebook, all these things nowadays, right? And I saw one that's so funny because sometimes we don't pay attention to what we do and we listen, right? And this girl was saying, she told her boyfriend, you repeat everything that I say. And then she said one thing, he repeated, he said one thing, he repeated, and then the last thing she said was the color of my shirt. And then he says brown. Okay, good. He says brown, right? And then she repeats again, same thing, and then asks the question again, what's the color of my shirt? And the person says brown. And she said, but you're supposed to repeat everything that I said, not answer the question, right? So, very important that you listen, and when you're doing your trial close, all you're doing is you're getting the customer to say yes, 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 yes. When you hit him with the right question down the end, he's gonna say yes, I'm ready to go. Now he has this motion in his head that he's going, I wanna buy this car. I like it. This guy told me that this car's gonna look nice in my garage. He's gonna make sure that the numbers will work for me, so I wanna buy this car. This is what I want. Yes, yes, yes. And then you come in and you show the numbers and negotiate on the numbers and you're good to go, right? So, trial close. This questions was not created by me, so make sure that you guys understand. But I put them into a sequence where it works in my benefit, right? It works in my benefit for the fact that I'm going to get the answers that I wanted to know on the basics, and then I'm gonna ask the right question on the end to make sure that this is the right car, and then I'm gonna hit him with a close, right? So, number 1, Kevin is coming back from the test drive, and we're about to pull into the parking lot. I'm gonna say, please park on the sold lane. Bam! Look at that. Woo! So this is my first trial close. Please let's make sure that we're parking in the sold lane. You'll get 2 response. The car's not sold yet, bro. That means that he's liking the car, he wants to buy it. Number 1. Number 2 is, he's gonna say, where's the sold lane? Boom. He agreed also to buy the car. So you got 2 answers that is gonna go work in your benefit. If he says, car's not sold yet, easy and simple. It's okay, bro. Just wanna make sure that I hide it so nobody else can sell it until you're here. Right? Because what happens is, we have not just you as a salesperson, it's you, and anybody else can sell the car until that person pulls the trigger. So therefore, I'm gonna go right ahead and hide this car so nobody can sell it while we're doing our numbers and negotiating. Right? Then once the car is parked in the sold lane, I'm gonna put this little thing here. It's not a step yet, but it is a question, but let's just do a question. It is a question as well too. Let's take a step back, period. Do you see this car, truck, vehicle, whatever the one is, park in your garage? Now, garage, driveway, off-street parking, they all work the same as garage. Okay, so write it down. Let's take a step back. Do you see this car parked in your garage? So, actually, let's do this one first and that one after, okay? Sorry. So let's take a step back. Do you see yourself driving this car every day? Just those little arrows things if you haven't wrote it yet. If you have wrote it already. Do you see yourself driving this car every day? If he says yes, you say, do you see this car parked in your garage? Boom. Right? Do you see yourself driving this car every day? Do you see this car parked in the garage? Yes. Does the vehicle have everything you were looking for, such as leather seats, navigation, backup cameras, sunroof, all-wheel drive, turbo engine? You want to mention all the bells and whistles. You want to remind him that he's here to buy that car because of those specifics, features and benefits, and that's his hot buttons. Okay. If you don't ask this last question here, you are doing no good for yourself. This is the question that you're going to find out if this car is for this customer, if it's the right car. If you were to rate this vehicle 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate it? If a customer goes in and say, I rate it a 7, okay, what would it make it a 10? Oh, brakes is squeaking a little bit, didn't feel good, and there's a little scratch in the bumper, okay? Other than those two things, is everything else good in the car? Yeah, perfect. So now you know what the problem is. And then you can accommodate a customer. If there's anything that's service related, you can let him know, Mr. Customer, don't worry about it. All our cars goes through our service department, which we're gonna do a service walk. And I'm gonna show it to you that we service all our cars here. We don't send out to do anything on it. We make sure that we stand by behind our products. Alright? If he says, bro, it's a 10, that means that he's leaking the paint off the car. There's nothing wrong with it. Everything is good. He's happy, his emotion is high. He's saying yes, 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 yes. Last question is, Only terms and conditions are agreeable with anything. Be stop you to take possession of this vehicle. Right. Woo. If all terms and conditions are agreeable, would anything be stopping you to take possession of this vehicle right now? So, sequence of questions that you want to ask to get the right answer. When I was a salesperson, as soon as the customer parked the car to the soul lane, if he faced the car and if the rear of the car is facing us, I turn the car around, park it correctly, put in the blinkers so it's blinking right in front of his eyes, and then I start my process of questions. Hey, let's take a step back, Kevin, for a second. Do you see yourself driving this car every day? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you see this car parked in your garage? You did tell me that you wanted to garage, so to make sure that, you know, the car maintains nice and clean.
Yeah, it fits.
Perfect. Does the vehicle have everything you're looking for? You did tell me that you were looking for leather seats, navigation, sunroof, backup camera, all-wheel drive, blind spot, and the most important, power, which is the turbo engine. Perfect.
Yep.
If you were to rate this car 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate it? You can say whatever number you want.
8.
8. What would you make it a 10?
If it had the side camera.
Side camera. Okay. So unfortunately, this specific model does not come with a side camera. Out of the side camera, everything else is okay though?
Yes.
Perfect. If all terms and conditions are agreeable, would anything be stopping you to take possession of this vehicle right now?
No.
So this is, and then when he says no, then you say, let's go right ahead inside then, let's make sure that we fit this into your budget. And then you can go in also and say, perfect, while you wait for us to process the paperwork for you, would you like soda, coffee, and are we gonna register this car in 1 or 2 names? Because then he might not have said no, or you might have missed the questions when you were doing your
Soft
qualifying, on your qualifying questions, which we're gonna go specific afterwards in details. I'm gonna get a video and make sure that we get all qualifying questions, but one of them is, for instance, you have a ring in your finger. I would have asked you, are you buying this car for you or for your family or for your significant other, or all decision makers are present today? Usually the easier question is if all decision makers are here today, and then if you say no, I'll be the one making the decision today, and then you know that if he comes here and say, after you ask this question, the vehicle right now, he says, oh, I still have to talk to my wife, then you can go in and say, but you said that you'll be making this decision today without your wife. You can do that. After you get the answer, you can use that afterwards if that comes across. When you're doing your negotiation, if a customer goes in and say, yeah man, everything's all nice and all of those, but I gotta talk to my wife still. Then you can politely say, you can be like, but you told me you don't have to talk to your wife, bro. What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't say that, but you can politely say, I did have asked you if you were the one making this decision, and you said that you were. I'm just a little bit surprised that now we have to talk to your wife. Is it because of the money down? Is it because of whatever the reason is? Right? I'm gonna go over those word tracks, but those are the things that you wanted to make sure that when you're doing your qualifying as well, to you ask those questions, because those are the questions that those are the excuses that you're gonna have to overcome afterwards. Okay? So, all right. So what are we going to do? Sitting down, we'll have to get up and doing all of that. I'm gonna have you, Kevin, ask the questions
Okay.
just so you can get a little familiar with it. You know, going down, and we're not gonna make this hard. We're just gonna make it all nice and easy, okay? So you can ask the question to Bruno, and we'll go from there.
Starting from which question? The,
Start from the beginning, my friend.
okay. Bruno, let's take a step back. Do you see this car parked in your garage?
Yeah, I do.
Do you see yourself driving this car every day?
Definitely.
Does this vehicle have everything you were looking for?
Yes.
All right, that's good. Such as?
You have to tell him.
Features.
Oh, okay.
You have to tell him the features and benefit out of it that he
Does
wanted
this-
to have it in the car.
Does this vehicle have everything you were looking for, like the backup camera, the sunroof, the four-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Okay. The if you were to rate this vehicle from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest,
The best.
what would 10 being the best? How would you rate it?
I'll give it like an 8.
An
Because I
8?
saw a little scratch in the back on the driver door.
Okay, on the driver door, is there any other reasons why it wouldn't be a 10?
No, just that.
Oh, the scratch on the door. Okay, so we can have a service walk in the back, and we stand behind our products.
So that's not really a service issue.
Mhm.
So the only thing that he's mentioning is the little scratch that's in the car. So there's a couple things that we can do. So one of the things is, Mr. Customer, I just want to let you know that here at Direct, we price our cars according to the condition. Unfortunately, it is a used car, so it's going to have a couple of scratches and things in there, right? If it's something major, I can have a professional come out and look at it and make sure that we send it out to the body shop. But if it's a light scratch, we can touch it up as well too. That's not something that I make a decision on it, but I'll definitely bring this up to my manager and make sure that he takes a look at it to make sure that we can address that for you. So one of the things that I tell my salespeople all the time is you never say no. You say, we have to look at it. We have to have someone look at it. We have to make sure that we talk to someone about it. And it's never a decision that you can make. The mistake that salesperson makes it all the time is the customer says, oh, there's a scratch in it, but no, I will take care of it. And the only reason why they say that automatically is because they're worried that they're gonna lose the sale because of that excuse. Sometimes, like I told you, sometimes the customer's just looking for one little excuse for him not to buy it, but it doesn't mean that he's not gonna buy it because of that. I have sold cars with a bumper pushed in a little bit, and hey, that's why we price it that way. There's no problem. We have discount this car to the dot to sell it. This is the only car. If you want her to buy it, or if you want her to pay for it, we can have someone professional to do it. There's always a couple things that we can do, but the first attempt that we do is make sure that he knows that we're aware of the situation, that we have someone take a look at it, and we'll make sure that we address it accordingly to it. We'll let him know. Some customer wants to have discount just because of the scratch, but he doesn't want the scratch to be fixed because now he's gonna have not brand new paint to the car, and there's not a necessity. There's a whole lot of things that come across, but the whole point of the answer is, if it says the scratch, you say, okay, other than scratch, is anything else stopping you from making this decision?
Okay.
No, perfect. Just to let you know how we do business here at Direct, we make sure that we price our car according to the condition. If this car did not have any scratches, most likely it would be a higher price. But doesn't hurt for me to go in and take a look at it. I'm here to fight for you. I'll make sure that I'll let my manager know that you had a little concern about the scratch. We'll have him come out, look at it, and we'll make a decision from there. If all terms and conditions are agreeable, then we'll move on. Yeah.
So how do you deal with somebody who's just like, no, I can't, I'm not gonna buy this car until the scratch is fixed or something like that?
So we don't do any service. So if a customer comes in and says, I'm not buying this car unless brakes are done or unless the scratches are painted, then we'll tell them, unfortunately, that's not how we do business. If you do not proceed forward to purchase this car, we were not going to fix it because someone could buy the car this way. This is just a cosmetic thing that you wanted us to do, right? So if a customer comes in and say, oh, I'm not buying this car unless you fix the scratch, you're still gonna do the same thing. Like I explained it to you. I'm gonna bring it over to my manager attention and make sure that he aware of the situation. And if that's the breaking point, one of us will come out and make a decision to talk to him and let him know, hey, listen, I totally understand. The cost for us to do this is $350. Do you want us to do it? Yeah, okay, it's $350 that we'll put it on the price of the car for you. Because we have discount the car to sell, and you want us to spend more money on a car that it's number one in the market. Somebody else can come in and buy this car.
Mm-hmm.
There's a word track that says, it's kind of says this way, but usually they say like, a customer says, I want to think about it because of the scratch. You say, there's no problem, I totally understand. Someone else also did that. They came here, they thought about it yesterday, and you were here to buy this car today. So it could happen that you leave here and then we sell the car tomorrow. And it happens all the time. Like, you don't even understand how many times it happens. A customer came in and worked the numbers and everything was good to go. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to talk to my wife. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And then the next day, first thing in the morning, someone comes and look at that car and buys it. And I'm not going to lie to you. When a customer does that specifically, we as managers will make everything to sell that car the next day to the next person. Prove a point. That's just a ego thing, but we make it. We're gonna sell the car. You know what I mean? But it happens. There's customers that comes in. I myself, I'm pretty laid back in situations like this. Of course, I look into profits, so far so on. But I also look into it. I wouldn't sell a car to a person if it's not up to my standards as well too. So if I see that the car is all scratched up and so far so on, I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, listen, I can take care of this and that for you. I can't do everything, but I can probably do this major scratch, that major scratch, or whatever the case is at that point, right? And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I'm not gonna sell a car to you that you're gonna look at it every day and be like, damn, this car has this bad scratch, so far so on, right? The say is like, you wouldn't sell a car to a person if you wouldn't sell that car to your family member, right? So, yeah. So, Bruno, you can go right ahead and do what Kevin.
Alright. So everything's all good. You already test drive the vehicle. Seems like it's to your liking. So please park on the sold lane.
Okay.
Okay. So after you did that. Alright, Kevin. Let's take a step back. Do you really see yourself driving this car every single day?
I don't see why not.
Alright. Do you see this car parked in your garage?
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay. Does this vehicle have everything you're looking for, such as all-wheel drive, navigation, sunroof, Bluetooth, all that stuff?
Everything I like, yep.
Awesome. Okay. If you were to rate this vehicle 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute best choice for you, how would you rate it?
I would rate it an 8.
Okay. Why would you rate it an 8?
What would it make it a 10?
Oh, what would make it a 10?
If it had the side camera and the sunroof, for example.
Okay. Besides the fact that you wanted a side view camera and a sunroof, is everything else good in the car? All the features are to your liking?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Now you have to explain why this car doesn't have it. So on this specific trim, because cars comes with specific trims comes with specific features, right? So the car that he came look at it doesn't have that. So then you have to explain that unfortunately this specific car that you came does not have those features. Now every features can be added. There's a cost to it. We don't tell them because we don't want to keep adding things to cars unless they really want us to add. But you just gotta make sure that you let them know. Say, listen, unfortunately, Kevin, this specific car that you came in to look at it today, this trim doesn't have it. If you wanted to have the side camera and the sunroof, we have to go to a EXL, Civic EXL.
Okay. So you were looking for specifically the Toyota Corolla LE, which is a less advanced trim in the Corolla line. It doesn't have the sunroof and the side view mirror cameras. But there is a higher trim version the XLE. It's a little bit more expensive. That does have the sunroof and what you're looking for. But you went for the LE as it's better cost efficient for you. Anyways, as I was saying, if all terms and conditions are agreeable, would anything be stopping you to take possession of this vehicle right now?
No, nothing's stopping me.
Alright, great. So go ahead and close down this deal.
So the only reason why we say right now, not today, is because if you're negotiating first thing in the morning, today is by the end of our business day. Customer can come back and say, okay, well, today I haven't to the end of the day, right? It's today, so I'll come back later and I'll find out. If you say right now, means right at this moment, what's
You don't
going
feel
on.
the pressure, yeah.
Right. We'll do it in Portuguese.
Sim.
Okay. I'll do it first, then go from there, okay?
Ok.
Léo, então, faz favor pra mim, vamos parar o carro ali na linha dos carros vendidos, por favor, tá?
Sim.
Léo, deixa eu te fazer uma pergunta. Parar um pouquinho e dar uma olhada nesse carro. Você se vê dirigindo esse carro todos os dias?
Sim, vejo.
Você me falou que tinha uma garagem, esse carro ficaria bonito com sua garagem, né?
Com certeza.
Maravilha. O carro tem todos os equipamentos que estava procurando, correto? Tem o bloco de couro, teto solar, navegação, sistema de navegação,
Sim.
all-wheel drive, tudo certinho, né?
Sim.
Perfeito,
Tudo que
maravilha.
preciso.
Se você fosse julgar esse carro de 1 a 10, 10 sendo o melhor, como é que você julgaria esse carro?
Eu jogaria 8.
8?
O...
O que precisaria para fazer esse carro ser um 10?
Arranhões que eu verifiquei na lataria.
Ok, mais alguma coisa?
Não, só...
Então, em termos dos arranhões, só para te explicar como nós trabalhamos aqui, nós trabalhamos de acordo com as condições, nós colocamos os preços do carro de acordo com as condições do veículo, de condições com as condições, com os equipamentos. Então, não que nós não iremos fazer, não estou te dizendo isso, mas eu levarei para a atenção do meu gerente, para ele poder dar uma olhada, mas a maioria dos nossos carros já é com preços já calculando as condições que tem no veículo. Então, por si próprio, talvez possa ser uma coisa que nós fazemos ou talvez não, só para você ficar mais ou menos ciente. Mas tirando isso, as outras coisas tá tudo de boa, né? Tudo perfeitinho?
Perfeito.
Se todos os valores, as condições de financiamento estiverem os valores certos, perfeitos, tem alguma coisa que estaria impedindo você de levar esse carro hoje, agora?
Não tem.
Não? Perfeito. Então vamos lá dentro lá, a gente vai make sure que os números estão tudo funcionando direitinho. Vou mencionar para o meu gerente sobre o arranhão também. E vamos finalizar isso aí hoje para você sair daqui com a compra do carro novo.
Ok, obrigado.
And you proceed forward. Nice and simple. You work same way, as long as you follow the questions, you will get this person to follow into you what you want him to do. Okay? Você quer fazer em inglês, você quer fazer em português, você não quer fazer, você sabe.
Posso tentar em inglês, mas...
Beleza, você sabe. Pode fazer com o Bruno?
Eu posso perguntar então?
Pode.
Okay. Bruno, please park on the sold lane. Please park that car on the sold lane, please.
Alright.
Do you see yourself drive this car every day?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, good, nice. Do you see this car parked in your garage?
Yes.
Yes, nice. Does the vehicle have everything you were looking for, like camera, Bluetooth, leather, sunroof, and another thing?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So, if you were to rate this vehicle 1 to 10, the 10, sorry,
Esse mesmo, 10 being the best.
as being the best, how would you rate it?
I will give it
10.
well, 10.
Oh, nice. If your terms and conditions are agreeable, you do anything.
Would anything
You anything be shopping. You stay.
stopping?
Oh, stop.
Stop.
Stop to take purchase of this vehicle right now.
No, nothing at all.
Okay, nice.
Alright, good. Alright. Any questions about the trial close? Any other, do you guys want to do one where I ask you the questions and you just hammer me with things that you don't want to do so you can see a little bit how the overcome objection will be,
Yeah,
anything
sure.
like that?
Yeah.
Alright. Who wants to be the customer? Alright, Kev. Alright, Kev. We're driving back. Please, let's go right ahead and park the car in the soul lane, okay?
Yep.
Turn it left, park it. Let's take a step back for a second. Do you see yourself driving this car every day?
Yeah. I don't see why not. Yeah.
Perfect. And do you see this car parked in your garage?
I don't have a garage, but I usually park on the street. But yeah, I'll definitely do it.
No, I used to have off-side street as well too, and I used to every day when I bought my dream car. Believe it or not, it was a 2004 Golf R32. Since my beginning of life, that I always loved the Volkswagens. I used to come every day, park it on the off street, and then go right across the street and take a picture
Awesome.
right in front of my house.
I might start doing
You
that.
know, it looks such a nice accomplishment that you do. Does the vehicle have everything you're looking for? You mentioned to me that you wanted the backup camera, the sunroof, the leather seats, the all-wheel drive system.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything. I just think the trunk is pretty small. I used to have a car that had a bigger trunk, and I'm worried about space.
So in this case, specifically the car that you came to look for, which is the Civics, the trunk is not as big. The next trim available that will get you a bigger trunk space would be an Accord, which is a little bit out of the price range that we talked about, but we do have that option as well too. Other than the trunk not having that much space, does everything else work on the car? Does everything else up to your standards?
Everything is great. Yeah.
Perfect. If you were to rate if all terms and conditions are agreeable, would anything be stopping you from taking possession of this car right now?
I would have to see with my wife. I'm gonna think about it.
Totally understand. We did talk about earlier, and I asked you if you're the one that will be making the decision today. You said that you were. I understand that as yourself, I am married as well too, and then we have to make decisions. Make sure that we talk to the wife. Happy wife, happy life, of course. But you did say that you're buying this car for you, correct?
That's right.
And also, hold on 1 second. Oi. Ok, eu já tô indo, 1 minutinho. Tô indo aqui. Pode ser? Alô. So you did mention to me that you were buying this car for you, and I totally understand that you do have to talk to your wife. Just as when I make a decision for myself, doesn't matter whatever it is, I talk to my wife as well too. But let me ask you a question: does your wife know that you were shopping for a car?
No, she didn't.
She did not.
It was
Okay.
supposed to be a surprise.
A surprise. So now you have to talk to your wife, but you're making a surprise. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand. It's no big deal. I understand. I mean, I sometimes I do that too. I think I want to make a surprise, but then I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna be happy about it. But let me just ask you a question though. Does your wife trust you to making the right decision? That's why you guys marry, right? You guys have a trust level. That's what we do. We trust each other to make the right decision. Anything that has to do according to our life, right?
That's right.
Would you think your wife would be happy that you'll be able to be driving a nicer car, a newer car, as you are a hard-working person?
She'll definitely want to see me happy, and she'll love it.
Absolutely. Now let me ask you another question. You said that you did have kids, right?
Yes.
And right now, the Honda Accord the Honda Civic that you drive, and it's not too safe. That's why you're trading in your car. Did you think that your wife would be happy that you're actually buying something that's a safety features for all your kids?
Definitely, 100%.
Absolutely. So I think that you might be able to still go forward with that surprise without telling her, and I think she should be okay with it, right? But let's just make sure that all terms and conditions are agreeable first. If everything's agreeable, I will help you make that surprise.
Okay, that's awesome.
Then it's right now is he's giving you an excuse to not buy using the wife, but we haven't even gotten over to the numbers yet. So what if the numbers are a great deal? And again, everybody that's married, they do not go out all of a sudden decide to buy a car without telling you what I do, because I work in the car business.
Yeah.
So every single time with my ex-wife that I got her out of a car and put her in a new car, she never complained, because I always bought her what I knew that we wanted, that we needed, and it was the best too. So talking to the wife only comes into place when the numbers are not there, not the vehicle, unless he came here to buy an example, Traverse, which was in their budgets for them, but the car was beat up. The car wasn't good. So then he went up to another Traverse, higher trim or whatever the case was, but that was $2,000-3,000 more. Now they're out of their budget. Now that might come in across because they might have to talk it over because now the numbers are not the same that they were thinking. But most of the time, talking to the wife comes across numbers. Doesn't really come across in this situation because, like I said, or unless he came in and he's test driving the car that he's buying for his wife and he wants his wife to come in and drive it, right? But then we have other things that we can do if we get into a point where she's the one that's gonna have to make a decision and he told you in the beginning, you then report that back to me. That's why it's very important on the soft qualifying that you ask the right questions because when you soft qualifying the qualifying, because when this comes across that I'm going to go in and give you numbers so far so on, if you tell me from the beginning that his wife has to be here, when you come back from the test drive, I'm going to tell you, okay, how are we going to make the decision? Does he still have to talk to his wife? He does. Okay, are we going to are we going to bring the car over to her? We're going to FaceTime her, we're going to call her, we're going to send her a video. What are we doing? If we're not doing none of this and he's still saying that he has to have her to make a decision, I'm not going to go over numbers. Because now I'm giving him the license to shop. I'm giving him numbers. He's going to leave here, go to Automax, going to leave here, go to another dealer, and then they're going to probably do the same thing, but they're going to try to beat my numbers. And then what's going to happen? They're probably going to go there to buy instead of here. Right? So that's sort of where we are. All right?